Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about breakups.
But if you like what you're seeing, please like, share, and subscribe.
There was a subscriber. We were talking about break. She was telling me about her breakup, and she was telling me that she got her self-esteem was kind of built. She realized through her breakup that her self-esteem was built up in her relationship, and so when she broke up or when they split up, she just had a huge lack of like self-worth. When you get into relationships for the wrong reasons, I feel like this is common because I know that when I got broke up with my ex, he broke up with me. So that wasn't fun. But yeah, and I realized that after that breakup, like a couple things happened there. Like your ego is built, especially when you're a woman gets broke up with, like your ego is really caught up in there, and then you're hurt too. So your feelings are kind of all out of whack. And I'm like, why am I mean, besides that, like why am I feeling so what's the word? But I was feeling like, well, I'm not desirable anymore.
Right.
You know, I think that's what happens when you get to a certain age too. You feel like you're not desirable anymore. This woman I was talking to, and she was like, yeah, I kind of feel that way because I'm in my 40s. She's in her 40s as well. And she said that it's going to be hard to find another relationship now. You need the longevity. You know, people get the longevity of the relationship. You get used to that. And then when it's gone, it's gone. You feel like it's never going to happen for you. You're never going to get a relationship. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I really kind of feel like it's interesting. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just you, but I feel like a lot of guys my age date girls their age. And, you know, back in the day, it seemed like a lot of like middle-aged men used to date.
That's actually kind of true.
But I feel like a lot of, or maybe it's just men my age like me.
Yeah.
But it feels like a lot of, and I know a lot of men, it just feels like they all like women their own age.
You know, you're right about that.
I don't really see them like dating like 20-year-olds. Like guys that are like in their 40s, I don't really see that. You know what I mean? Like even in like when they were, because the guys that I know, they you know, they've had relationships and not had relationships. It seems like every girl they take a photo with is like 45, 40, 41. Right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think that makes me feel better because it makes me feel like at least you are desirable. Right. Because,
and also I think that women there in their, you think that men also just kind of want someone more mature too, just in general.
Really, it could be. I mean, for me, I broke up with my boyfriend. I broke up with him, but I still felt the same way. I mean, I felt bad and horrible because I was 39 and I really wanted to get married and have children. And then when you hit a certain age, you kind of want to, you know, be well into something. You know what I mean? But then I was also going through some other stuff that had nothing to do with, it didn't have anything to do with my boyfriend. It's just, I was going through a hard time. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
It's funny, I didn't think that I was never going to have a boyfriend again. That wasn't it. But I just think that when people when they go through it's so funny when you're in a breakup because you once loved this person and you were so, you know, like googly eyed and you know, it's just a very lovey dovey time for most people. And then it's like this total ending. It's just like it's over and it's ugly. Usually it's like not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Most of the time.
And also I think at a certain age you're looking for the one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're in your 20s, I don't know. I mean, you always think you might break up with someone.
Yeah,
because you're in your 20s. But when you hit 40, you feel you start, even for men. Yeah. I've heard men say this. Just like, God, I don't want to be single. Yeah. I don't want to be single though. I feel like when next time I date, I want it to be the one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to keep breaking up with people. You know what I mean? Right. I think that's another hit. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to, who is it going to be?
I felt like I was trying.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people though.
Because I was older.
A bad relationship with them.
Because I'm older, I felt like I need to make this one work.
Right.
Because I still want to have family. I still want to do all of that. So I'm like, I really, really got to make this one work. It can't be over, right? So when he broke up with me, it was a really big shock. Like, you know, like I got to start all over again. Oh no, you know? And so, I don't know. I just think that, like I was telling this woman, I was like, you know, you're not alone. A lot of people have their self-esteem is built up in the relationship, and the relationship is gone. They kind of like, oh, yeah, maybe that's some stuff I got to work on. So when this happened to me, that's exactly what I thought. I thought, well, the relationship's over, And so you're going to have to get your self-worth back here, because for some reason you didn't even realize it, but you just wanted maybe the look of the relationship, or maybe just stay your relationship.
Yeah. I think your bitterness has to end quickly.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Because as I say, both men and women, when they break up, like I always say, everybody becomes a feminist.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody becomes calculating. Right. You got to have a good credit score. You have to have this amount of money. Men act like that with women all of a sudden. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then when they fall in love, they don't care anymore. You know what I mean? But it's just like, but when people are broken up, they get extra picky. Yeah. You got to have this, and you got to have that, and you can't have this many kids. Yeah. And you can. I don't want to be this, and you know what I mean. You got to have this type of education. Like all of a sudden, we start getting conditional. Mm-hmm. When love is really supposed to be kind of unconditional in this situation. That's the thing, is like the love factor always gets counted out. Yeah. So people have a checklist. Like we did a show about the list a woman should have, and people always forget the love factor. Yeah. The love factor can cancel a lot of things. Yeah. Because it's not logical. It's not. I mean? You just kind of have to go with how you feel. But I think that when you break up with someone, you have to kind of get over yourself. But I always think that you have to like for me, I have to find my part in the relationship. I can't keep blaming him. Yeah. Because if I start blaming him, then I start blaming men. You know what I mean? It's like, I just saw a quote the other day that said, do not let a few people, because believe it or not, when we break up with people, it is just a few people. Yeah. There's a lot of people in this world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But a lot of people say, don't let a few people ruin your perception of the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because the longer you stay bitter at somebody, the more you can't move on. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it's important that you say to yourself, well, what did I do? Because you did do something. Even if you don't think you did anything, even if you got cheated on, there's something you missed. Yeah, the one thing I can't stand when things end, it's a big pet peeve of mine, and I stand my ground on this. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe that you didn't know some of the red flags. Like, that people didn't know, because I could tell you till I'm blue in the face when I was with this person that nothing was wrong with him. He was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with him. He just all of a sudden switched over. Right. He didn't just all of a sudden switch over. There was already stuff in place. Even with my relationship, there were red flags. There's already something. I stayed one minute because I was looking through rose-colored glasses. Mm-hmm. You know, and what I mean? I wanted to. Did you do that? Did you look through rose-colored glasses? I knew the instant we met. Really. I knew there was something wrong the instant we met, but I just didn't. Mine wasn't the instant. I didn't want to be. It was one of those things where I didn't want to be too picky, because I'm not perfect either. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? But people are a reflection of you. Yeah. So if you are insecure, you're probably going to meet someone insecure. But not in that you're going to accept insecurity more than you're going to accept someone who's more secure. Right. Mm-hmm. But I think that you have to find your part in the relationship, or else you will be someone who is mad at the opposite sex too long, and then you won't be in a relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think with me, like, people always go, "Why are you single?" And I was like men will tell me this, like, why are you single? Why are you single? And I saw a meme the other day where a guy said, if she's good looking, she's the problem. So this guy said to me the other day, like, because I get asked, people, why are you single? You sound like a nice, down to earth, woman. You're good looking. Like, you shouldn't be single. And I think I'm single because of me. Right. You know what I mean? Because I haven't dated in a long time because of my own fears of breaking up and having to deal with that part of the relationship, and so I find comfort in myself sometimes. And then when I'm in a relationship, like I said before, like in our other video, then I've had masculine tendencies where I to protect myself, I become masculine. Right. Yeah. And then men don't get to see the feminine part of me because I'm too busy trying to make sure they don't hurt me. Yeah. Like I was telling Danielle before, like, I don't really, my last boyfriend, he's the only guy that ever really saw me cry and see me hurt in a physical way. Like, you know what I mean? Most guys I break up with, they never see me cry. Yeah, I will cry, but just not in front of them. Yeah, I told Kara this before, that it's important to, I think, like, to me, I don't know if you feel like that, but I feel like it's important for you to show your real feelings. Yeah, show your real feelings. And if you feel like you're going to cry, because some tough women don't like to do that, right? They appear tough all the time. And it's like, but no one's going to learn anything. If you're not going to learn anything because you're not really being vulnerable, so that you're messing yourself up. And then you're not helping the guy out because you're not allowing him to see how a woman reacts to hurt. Yeah.
You know, I think that helps men. In my opinion, I think
I would say that
men.
not crying is see, because a lot of times I think we don't do like masculine energy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if you don't show like a man how you feel, in an authentic way, like you don't have to cry if you don't feel like it, but in an authentic way, then I think that you're not being yourself.
You know, I asked this woman too that I'm talking about earlier, subscriber. I said, you know, is it? Were you always yourself around him? Like, was it always? She goes, no, now that in retrospect, when I think about it, I wasn't really myself. Like, I wasn't really being myself. So, it took her, she said, a couple of years later to realize that maybe she was also the problem. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of things we don't want to do. We don't ever want to look at ourselves, both men and women. But I think a lot of times women, or sometimes we want to, men too, I guess, want to push the blame off and not be upset, because a lot of times when a guy is treating you wrong, it's easy to look at his behavior, and that's easy to look at and go, he's wrong, right? But then it's so, it's hard to then take inventory on yourself. Right. You know what I mean? To say, wait a minute, what did I do wrong in the relationship? Which is what I had to do. I had to, you know, I had to really like say, well, okay, I got broken up with. Okay, now the circumstances in which I was broken up with, to me, I felt was wrong on his part, 1,000%. But me not paying attention to my self-esteem in the relationship and not paying attention to red flags when it came to him, that's all on me. Right. And so I can't blame anybody. No. And so this woman I'm talking about was kind of, we had a short discussion, but she was saying that most of what she was saying, she was blaming him. And I was like, you know, but you can't always do that. Like we said this a million times in our videos. Like you really can't always just supposed to put the blame on somebody. You know what I mean?
This guy friend of mine, he back in New York, he cheated on his wife, and they broke up. And I said, well, why did you cheat on? He said because he wasn't having sex with her, like on a normal basis. The kids got in the way and all the the normal stuff. Yeah. And then I said, but he kind of like blamed. I kind of blamed her though, because I kept feeling like, you know, if you're not gonna have sex with me, then I'm just gonna find it somewhere else. So it's kind of your fault. You know what I mean? And then he said, but now he even said, but now I kind of feel like if maybe I had talked to her before I went out and cheated. He said, see, because we all make mistakes. So the thing is, like, it takes two people to mess up. The thing is that we're so quick to just, like, I was just like she was quick to call me a cheater. I was quick to say it was your fault because you didn't have sex with me. What we really didn't talk about was why we weren't having sex. Yeah. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And had we had probably, because we're friends now, we're just not together. He was just like, but had we had talked to each other about the elephant in the room instead of really just trying to avoid it, he said we probably would still be together. Yeah. Because I love her. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants to be the wrong one, right?
Too much had been said so they could get back together. Right. But he's just like, but I do love her. And so I think the same thing that I think the quicker that we're able to get to our part in a breakup, the quicker we could probably move on to someone else, or we can because you kind of have to learn you have to learn. If you don't learn something from the relationship, then it's kind of like worthless. All you're taking is anger with you. So I have a friend that she has several kids by a few men, and everything she puts up on Facebook or talks about is about how men like really suck. You know what I mean? She's really overly masculine and angry, but my thing in saying that is, what is that if you want, but she also wants a man. So it's like, what does that,
and then when they hurt her, she's like, you're saying
they become like everybody else, right? But I'm saying, but who do you think that you're, because like she meets men with this attitude. I was like, but who do you think that you're going to attract? You think you're going to attract a good man when you hate men? Yeah. With this hate man attitude, you're not. You're gonna attract men who do the same thing as all the other men have, because most of the time when you don't heal, they're all the same person. It is. It's just a different face. You know what I mean? They're all the same person, and so it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how much money they make. It doesn't matter anything. They will always be the same person because you are attracting some energy that you're not. Like healing, and so. I would say that like I said before, I think one of my problems with breaking up is that it's hard for me to get into relationships because for one thing, I don't trust nobody immediately in general, not just people. You know what I mean? It takes me a long time to get close to people. And so when I do get close to people and you hurt me, then I get really upset. Right. And then it takes me a while to break up with you because I get attached really fast. But then when it's like a detached from you, then it's hard for me to get into any relationship. It could take me years before I want to be in another relationship with someone
Anybody
else.
have a completely opposite? Because I think I'm a little too trusting too soon.
Yeah, but same
the same outcome.
You know what I mean? It's very true. Like, you know, and so I just think like my last relationship was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just takes me a really long time to want to date someone else.
Yeah.
You know, because I look at relationships as long term.
Yeah, you don't think about that. You don't. Yeah, because when you get in a relationship, you don't think about the breakup. You don't think about breaking up.
I don't look at relationships as quick.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not one of those girls that have like
a serial dater
who can't be single. Yeah. Something. Have you seen people? I know men and women like this that can never be who can never not be in a relationship.
Right.
They always have to be with someone, and I'm not like that. But the thing is like it's just sometimes it's just as bad.
Right.
Because then it takes me a long time to get into it. And a lot of that is just because I'm not forgiving people that have left me.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it takes me a while to get back out there. And then even when I do get back out there, it's like, it's like watching paint dry. Right. Like I'm just like, you know, that feeling of, are you, you know what I mean?
You don't get in relationships to break up, so you don't think it's going to happen.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't take me out. Like, I have fun on dates, but then after that, when it's time to get close to someone, I'm like, oh, whoa, buddy. No,
I feel like sometimes, I always feel like most breakups are preventative. Like if you pay attention to, I just feel like you have to pay attention to red flags. So I was talking to this woman, and I was like, yeah, if you had paid attention to red flags, and I'm speaking, I'm not dictating anything, I'm just saying that because I didn't do it. And I'm like, if you just pay attention to the red flags, you will be able to see it sooner. And then the breakup the relationship probably wouldn't even happen. But then the breakup definitely, you know what I'm saying? The relationship probably wouldn't have happened. But I don't think people want to pay attention to that. I think people get excited when they're in a relationship. Like, when people first meet someone, they get very excited. It's very natural. Yeah. You know, and maybe you get excited too soon. Yeah. Well, you know, I think I got excited too soon.
I read somewhere where this guy, he's like a therapist, and he said that women should never date men that they are sexually attracted to.
Well, I can understand that.
He said that. He said the reason why is because he said, and many women do this. By
you
the
mean
way.
Initially?
He said initially, if you are sexually attracted to a man right off, then you should date him. And he said the reason why you should not. He said, unless you're. He said if you're looking for a relationship, you shouldn't. And he said the reason for that is that it changes the power structure because now you want him more than you know he wants you. Right. You want him on a physical level, which is he's just like, and then what happens is that you can almost fall in love quicker than him, and then be lost. It's much better for a man to be physically attracted to you than to you to be too sexually attracted to him. Yeah. Okay. He said because with women it's from head down to your genitals. He said for men it's their genitals to their head. Right. So it's kind of the reverse for us. He said so when we like them, we're too sexually attracted, our power structure goes off. And he said a lot of women get hurt in relationships because they like the man. They're just sexually attracted to the man too much. Yeah. And he's like you will be surprised how many people break up and they find out that I did like him. Did you like this guy more than no? You liked him? I mean, did he like you? I don't think so. I think I liked my ex more than he liked me. I think that my ex wanted to be in a relationship. It didn't matter who he was with. He wanted to look at the relationship. So but I think I thought more like your ex then. I think I wanted a relationship. And see, as I'm saying, I think I did too. So that was a disaster in the beginning. Then I didn't even thought about that before. But I do think that I may have liked him. I was more smitten with him. My ex-boyfriend was one of those things where he was kind of pretty much everything I wanted on paper, right? Except for the mental part. Yeah, that's me. And I thought, I mean, he was physically good looking. He was, he's educated. He's smart. He's not a dummy. He was smart, good looking. He was everything I kind of really wanted in a man. Yeah. Except for the man part. Yeah. He lost on that part. I don't like men who are like feminist. or they want women to be just like them.
Oh yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
That's how
I don't like that.
No.
I think that the differences, because see, for me, like, I don't know about you, but I think for me, the differences and the energies is what we attract. Yeah. So to me, like I said, femininity and masculinity is what attracts. The opposite attracts. It's the polarity that attracts. And he was just like, so when we're both the same, I get turned off. And so that's what happened. Him and I. And that's actually kind of how I started realizing how much masculinity I had. Yeah. Is that I realized we're kind of the same. Yeah. A little bit. Only I became more masculine because he was all right with us being the same. He started to look more feminine to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though he was really masculine looking, he just started to become, because he wasn't being a man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I realized you're going to have to dial down so that I can get into
which is what we just talked about in our previous Freestyle Friday about that strong black woman thing and women being masculine and all that. I just think that you really, when you stand in that, you think that you feel like when you stand in that kind of masculinity and you get into relationships, I do think your relationship is doomed to fail. Yeah, it's going to fail because you're already starting off. People are so perplexed by breakups. Why did this happen? What's going on? I'm like, but there's some things that you're doing though way before that you could fix. Yeah. Again, I said this to myself a million times that you could probably fix it. It probably would have never happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? It made some things need to happen.
Oh, no, I would take 100%. My insecurity ran that relationship. Yeah. My insecurity of not being hurt. Yeah. Made me, that's the same. Whenever I am scared or I fear someone, I become masculine. Yeah. Really quick.
I feel like because I was approaching 40, I was getting in that lane. Yeah. That I was just in a hurry. Mm-hmm. And when you're in a hurry with something as important as who you spend the rest of your life with, you really probably need to slow some stuff down. Right. Because I was kind of like, I'm racing to this, like I was really trying to hurry, and I'm realizing like, you know, like I know that I'm not 20, but I'm not an old lady. Yeah. There's still time. But that's a waste of, it could be a waste of time, because had I just slowed down and looked at red flags and got to know him and know me, then maybe I would have had a more successful relationship with somebody totally different. But because I was in such a hurry, that's what led to it. Yeah. So whenever I speak to people, like we get a fair amount of women that say, you know, that talk about breakups and stuff, and they're like, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't understand why, you know, he was this way, and you know, and I get that, I understand that, because sometimes when someone's so bad, you think they're doing bad. Yeah. You know, you forget to look at yourself, and I just feel like, I don't mean to be so hard on women like that all the time, but I feel like I gotta call things out when it happens. And if you are not paying attention, you are, and you just jump into a relationship with somebody, you are contributing to the demise of relationship, especially if you know things are already bad and you continue. Because a lot of people, they don't stay in relationships for longevity. Like if someone goes, oh, you know, this is like the woman I was talking about, she was been in a relationship for many, many years, and she didn't want to start all over again. Yeah. And I'm like, bite the bullet, break up. Yeah. And get someone that's good for you. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's, what do those years really mean? What does those years really mean if it's just a shitty relationship? Because, I
think you also, as much as people like to use the word love all the time, I think you also have to like the person.
Yeah, me too.
Like I almost got my ex-boyfriend, there was a point where I just really didn't even like him. and not in a bad way, but like we just weren't compatible. Yeah. And you know how when you really stop trying to make something happen, and then you really just focus in on what is, what is. You think to myself, I don't even know if I would be your friend if we weren't like, because we were physically attracted to each other, and sometimes physical attraction can be manipulative. It can make you think that you're in love with something you're really not. And so once you get that out of the way, and then you really just look at this. Like one time I just looked at him and I just thought to myself, if I wasn't physically, because he's good looking, if I wasn't physically attracted to you right now, I don't know that I would even be your friend. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he probably thought of that. If he was being honest with himself about me, we just had nothing in common.
That's amazing.
And I had sex with this man. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? I had sex with this person. Right. And so I think to myself, why, you know, it's just like,
why was that important?
And then when I left that relationship and then I became single, that's why I said this relationship, I was a lot better than any other relationship because I didn't immediately start, I hate men. Right. You know what I mean? I didn't go on that bench.
Well, you knew how to
I got it. You know what I mean? But I thought to myself, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? The truth is that him and I just were not compatible at all. We did not want the same things. I think he wants a much more masculine woman and I realize I'm not. Yeah. Sometimes that's another thing. You can realize things about yourself in bad relationships.
Yeah.
Like I thought that maybe I could date a guy who was sort of equal. In an equal relationship.
Yeah.
And then when I was in that relationship, I was like, you know what, I don't like this. I don't feel I feel like something's missing.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like a woman.
Yeah.
I feel like his friend or a partner. And
That's
like I just saw a post the other day where a guy put up that he said, I want a genderless relationship. We both hustle. We both do this. And I thought to myself, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then who brings what to the table? You know what I mean? There has to be something you bring to the table that's different than your significant other, or then you're both the same.
Yeah.
And that's boring as hell.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think that a lot it contributes to breakups.
It does.
You know what I mean? You gotta be careful about how the society tries to make things different when there is nothing. Like, if you want to be a woman, be a woman.
Well,
don't try to be something you're not because other people in the world are trying to be.
That's why I don't like when people say, relationship goals. Because people, there's
no.
It's like, I'm not saying people don't have great.
I don't want to be like nobody's relationship. I want my own personal relationship the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, I don't believe that people are everybody on social media is a liar. I mean, I think there's some good relationships out there. I'm just saying that don't be like, goals. I hate that. Like, relationship goals. And I'm like, and I know it's probably just something endearing to say, but again, it could just be a false flag.
You know how many times I've actually thought that relationship goals and people broke up?
Yeah. Disgustingly broke up. Like,
it's like you got to really look at the person and look at yourself. Like I said, my ex-boyfriend, I really didn't even like him.
Yeah.
I mean, I wished him well, and I don't wish anything bad. He's not an awful human being.
There was one time,
but I didn't really like personally. I don't think him and I could have ever been friends. Your relationship, you have to be friends. No,
there was one point in my relationship. It was one moment that was really odd. Is that we were talking on the phone, and we had there was dead air.
Yeah,
there was like dead air for I would say a good minute. Mm-hmm. Think about how long a minute is. It's 60 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. That was a long time.
Yeah,
to not. Like, we didn't know what to say to each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been with you for a little while now, and just for some reason that moment I thought, God, that's odd.
Yeah.
Like we don't really have anything in common, so I don't know.
Yeah, but then you know what? Let me tell you, when my ex-boyfriend, he came back into my life. We actually, when I came home and I lost everything, he was in my life. We broke up immediately, and then he came back 2 years later, and we had a relationship.
Right.
But while we were breaking up, there was a guy. We had great conversation and chemistry.
Right.
And but I didn't know if I was attracted to him sexually.
Yeah.
But I could have been.
Yeah.
Had I went ahead, now hearing what that doctor said, maybe you shouldn't have been sexually attracted to him.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because he said get to know them as a person, and this guy that he got married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he could have been my husband.
Right.
Had I been more mentally attracted to him than physically attracted to him.
Maybe even more visual.
Yeah.
Or that was the word.
I think it's like
visual. Yeah, about it probably would make more sense. But
so I think that's true. I think that Danielle's right. Like I think that you have to kind of know who you are.
Yeah.
Before you start getting into relationships, and then even when you're in a relationship and it gets hard, don't just break up.
Like, let us know. Have y'all ever been in like relationships where you you feel like your self-esteem is so built up in a relationship that you didn't want to break up? Are you in that kind of situation like right now? I always wonder that. That girl was, that one subscriber she was, and she was just like, it took a breakup for me to realize that my self-esteem should not be that built up into just the relationship as a whole. So let us know what you guys think about this topic. We would love to hear your comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, you guys. Okay?
And share if you like.
And share, please. If you guys have any video topics or questions, then drop a comment below, or you can go to our email, which I believe right here, and we will answer it. Okay? And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day.